Well, you got to talk about the conception because you kind of got us started on this whole deal.
You're the one that blew it all up. So we had zero intentions of moving ever. We built our house in 2018-19 and we really liked it. And I was joking and looked online at a property and quite accidentally clicked the contact the realtor button, and she called me back really fast and offered to show it to us. And I made it really clear that we had no money and no financing and wouldn't be able to afford it. And she said that she was happy to show us anyways. So in September of 23, we came and saw the property for the first time. And we really, really liked it. It changed our minds about moving. And I think what got me over that was the brand that the family had always used is the exact same brand that our daughter has registered. So
that was kind of odd.
It was super odd. So we started the process with the Farm Service Agency to get a 50-50 loan. We were going to use a different bank, and they, quite frankly, just ghosted us. We wanted the lower interest rate, but finally in January, I got sick of waiting on them and got in touch with our regular local bank that we've used for everything else. And by February, we were approved for our 50-50 loan, and everything was moving forward. We just had to sell our house. And we sold our house finally in February. We did sell our house in February.
We got it under contract.
We got it under contract, yeah. And everything got finalized in April, finally. And so then closing was in June. So 9 months of planning and waiting, and then planning some more.
And the whole idea for this property was this will be, we've always wanted to, as a cattle producer, if you can hold, or anybody, if you can hold on to your product longer and cut out some of the middlemen, your profit is going to be more. So we have never had the ability to hold our calves very long because there's lease payments due, there's feed bills due, all these, reasons that you got to sell calves. And any cow-calf producer will tell you, you got to sell until you can get to the point where you can retain ownership of your calves. So retaining ownership of our calves has always been a huge goal, but we've never even had the facilities to do it in because we were running 100% on lease ground. So when we came and looked at this place, it was like, okay, this particular piece of property is definitely going to be able to check all those boxes. So the goal for the expansion of this place is to retain ownership of our calves that we produce, as well as purchase some outside calves and run with our calves and do either some backgrounding or stalkers. Right now, with the way the market is, we'll probably end up doing a little bit of both. Depends on what kind of deals we can get. But that is the short version of what is going to go on here. Obviously, there's tons of more opportunity. I ride horses, train horses. We now have more barns and facilities than we've ever had. So, taking in some outside horses could be a possibility of expanding that a little bit. But as far as the beef operation, yeah. Okay, so this place has on it a covered feed barn, which is what we're going to call it. It's got 250 head capacity right now. That's just the bunk space, really. It's one of those USDA barns. I believe they call them a forage feeding facility, but it's a pretty nice barn. It's covered. It's got a lane. It's got bunks on both sides, as well as a covered working chute facility. So we've got lead up alley. We've got sorting pins off of that. We've got 2 big holding pins. We've got a receiving area where we can unload pots and then send them back out again.
A scale.
Set of scales. I mean, it's really set up nice to efficiently get them in, get them worked, get them calmed down, and then kick them out on grass. Okay, so backgrounding is I'm going to take a calf that I just pull off a cow that's still nursing. I'm going to pull it off, and it's going to go into super high stress. So the goal there is to keep it alive, basically. You got to get it on feed. You got to keep it healthy. So backgrounding is you take the 400. Well, it depends on when they get pulled off the calf or the cow, but backgrounding is getting everybody's shots, getting them on feed, getting them cleaned up, and getting them growing. Whereas a stalker traditionally is used to put on grass. You're stalking the pasture. So you're looking at a calf that's traditionally already been backgrounded, and you're putting it out on grass to start growing on grass. Now here, a lot of people call stalkers anything really that you're just going to kick out on grass, because even a calf that you're backgrounded you can put out on grass, but traditionally it's like a 600-pound calf that you're kicking out on grass. I do think that we're going to try to maybe do a little bit more heifer retaining. How would you word that? Retention, heifer retention. There you go. Now that we have better facilities, we've always kept our own heifers for replacements. It has been a challenge because the facilities on the lease ground, while they do function, they're not necessarily ideal for any sort of artificial insemination or anything like that. Whereas now we have good facilities, we could probably start really working on improving our cow-calf genetics of our mama cows. So every year we try to raise some butcher beef for consumers. Usually what we end up doing is because we do keep our own heifers, anything that comes up open, if we have enough interest, we will keep 2 or 3 of these open heifers, ones that don't have a calf, and we'll finish them out on grain, and then take them to the butcher shop and sell them that way. So our hope is to expand that a little bit, especially with these facilities. We've got more places we can hold, maybe 10 or so if we have enough interest to sell direct to consumer. Yeah, so definitely follow the social media, because we are gonna, when we do have cows, eventually we'll get a website up where you can go and put in a pre-order for some of that high quality beef, ranch raised beef. It's what's for dinner.